Hello everyone, it's Thursday and you know what that means, coming to you live from the town that birthed Annie Lennox, Aberdeen City. I'm Steve Smith and I'm here for 30 minutes to tell you everything, or try to tell you everything that happened on last night's AEW Dynamite. That is for the 29th of September 2021. Autumn is here. I seen a robin this morning. My grandma always told me that if you see a robin, it is the first sign of winter, so cold weather is coming. It gets cold up here in Aberdeen, you know what I mean? It's North Scotland. What do you expect? It gets chilly here, but I digress. Before we start, housekeeping, as always. Last week, Wrestlebuddy dropped a new interview with former WWE star Carlito. Once you've watched this review, go and check that. And many, many other interviews we've got on the Wrestlebuddy's channel. There are tons there. Like, literally, well, no, it's not hundreds, but we've got at least 16 now, I think. Really good interviews. Check them out. Everyone from JTG to James Ellsworth to Carlito to Doug Williams. Trust me, there's a lot of good content there. This weekend, we have a new episode of Quiz Buddies Season 2 being recorded, so that should be coming out either Sunday or Monday, I think. This will feature the amazing team of me and Andy, aka the British Bull. You get the drift. I'm not allowed to swear on this. So subscribe to the channel for all this beautiful content that's coming up, and bookmark wrestlebuddy.com for all your wrestling news and rumours. So this week, AEW was in Rochester, New York, and the show was dedicated to the late great Brodie Lee, who sadly never had the chance to wrestle for AEW in his hometown. The show kicked off with a Brodie Lee graphic, remembering his passing from last year, because it was amazingly sad. We went on air, the audience were all chanting for Brodie Lee. It was a nice touch. Commentary team announced the launch of the John Huber Foundation. So I don't know much about this yet, but I'll get information and talk about it on Saturday's Rampage review. So the show opened up with CM Punk coming out, but he never cut a promo or anything. He just made his way to the commentary desk. Now, I expected a CM Punk promo or something, or a segment on this week's show, but there was none. There was no CM Punk promo. I think they just said CM Punk will talk, and I guess he did talk because he was on commentary. I'm happy to have him in commentary, as he is really good at it, but I did expect some sort of CM Punk promo segment on the show. He's on the show the whole time. He's really good at commentary, so you know what? I'll take that. I'll take that as a win. He is a really good commentator, by the way. He was on the desk the whole time. There was no angles set up. There was no nothing. He said that he's not going to be getting into any fights on the show. He's got a London insurance package. That's an old callback to the Monday Night War era when wrestlers are getting insurance policies from Lloyd's of London. But yeah, that is what it was. We went right into the opening match. It was Adam Cole versus Jungle Boy. Commentary hype up the fact that Adam Cole's new theme music is number 1 on iTunes. It's a really good song, actually. I would check it out. I'm not really much into rock or anything like that, but it's a really good song. Both wrestlers were super over with the entire crowd, with everyone, well, it sounded like everyone doing the boom and the Adam Cole baby bit, and they all sung along to Jungle Boy's themed song when he came out too. Multiple "This is awesome" chants during the match. It was a fun match. It was actually, in my notes, I say it was a super fun match. Not just a fun match, super fun. See, this is how my scale goes. I don't give stars or any of that sort of stuff, because that's not my remit. I'm just going to say this now, because I've never actually clarified that I rate matches from like bad, kind of bad, okay, good, super fun, great. You know, and you might notice me thinking about this during the reviews if you watch the past one. So this was a super fun match. There was nothing really over the top in it. It was just two men who are at or near the top of their game having a great match. Well, a super fun match. Just instantly counteracted myself. What the hell? It had everything I'm looking for in a match. A fiery babyface, a fiery heel, and both men making it feel like they're trying to win a competition. And as my regular viewers will know, that is what I love about wrestling matches. If it feels like a competition, I am sold. The false finish in this match had me, but it led perfectly to the finish. Adam Cole hit the Panama Sunrise on Jungle Boy, and I thought it was it. I was like, that's it, he's done. But Jungle Boy managed to kick out at 2.9. Cole then set Jungle Boy up for the Boom Shining Wizard, but Jungle Boy ducked it, and he locked in the snare trap in the middle of the ring. So Adam Cole managed to fight his way to the ropes. Jungle Boy tried to pull him back into the middle of the ring, but Cole managed to turn round, pushed Jungle Boy towards the rope, and then Jungle Boy kind of got behind Adam Cole, and he was pushing him into the ropes face first so he could go for like a backward roll pin. Audrey got caught up in the melee, and while she was distracted in front of Cole, he hit a mule kick in the balls on Jungle Boy, then hit the Boom Shining Wizard for the win. As I said, it was a super fun match. It was one of the better opening matches I've seen in a long time. I mean, I say that after last week's opening match was Bryan versus Omega. This was a totally different kind of match, you know what I mean? That was like a big match feel, a big battle. This was a quick match, fiery. It was great, a great way to open the show. I loved it. I thought it was really good. I watched this 5 minutes after I woke up, and I still thought it was impressed, and usually I am pretty hard to impress at that time of the day. The match lived up to expectations. Cole looks like a star, Jungle Boy looks super strong, and everyone was happy. After the match, the entire Super Elite came to the ring. That is, the Young Bucks, Brandon, Gallows, Anderson, Adam Cole, Knack, and of course the cleaner Kenny Omega. After the intros, Cole cut a heel promo, which was interesting, as a few minutes ago he was super over. Now people are booing him. He's really good at what he does, what can I say? Eventually, Kenny took the mic and spoke about how people have been telling him about last week's match, what they thought of last week's match, that they thought it was the best match they had ever seen. He says he doesn't care. A huge yes chant then broke down there, and Kenny goes on to say that Bryan couldn't beat him, and that he has zero wins under his belt, so he's not getting any rematches. End of discussion. This led to Bryan Danielson coming to the ring. He asked the crowd if they wanted to see a rematch between him and Omega, which obviously got a massive yes chant, but not as big as I thought it would be, although it was quite big. He then went on to tell Kenny that he doesn't have the balls to give him a rematch, which triggered a huge no balls chant, and then this turned into a Kenny has no balls chant. Bryan went on to call him Kenny No Balls Omega. The no balls chant was kind of big. The whole arena was chanting Kenny No Balls, which is pretty funny. This is what I'd pay a $5 a month for. People chanting Kenny No Balls, you know. Bryan went on to challenge any member of the Elite on Rampage, but Kenny told him, why the hell do that on Rampage? Let's have a match right now. But obviously Kenny's saying that with the whole Elite behind him, so Bryan was like, well, you tell you what, I'm not doing this alone. And this led to Kaz, Christian, and the Jurassic Express all coming out to back up Bryan. A group I am calling the Anti-Elite. So the Elite, they all powdered out the ring and they all ran to the showers to more Kenny No Balls chants, whilst Bryan and the Anti-Elite stood tall. This was a fun promo segment, and it's building up to a match on Rampage, which we'll get to later in the review. Next up, it was Dante Martin versus and Matt Sydal versus Cody and Shorty Lee Johnson, with Arn Anderson and Brandy at ringside. Now, when I saw this match advertised, I was convinced that we're going to see a heel turn, or we're going to see some sort of drama in this match, and we did get some sort of drama in this match. Cody has been getting quite a lot of boos in the last few weeks and months now. It's hard to tell whether the boos are just for Cody as a person, or because he's feuding with someone who is massively over in Malachi Black. We're going to find out as time goes on. Regardless, if there was a time to turn him heel, this may be it, because the crowd would be up for it. The stars are aligned for this. All they need to do is have him beat Lee Johnson or beat up Arn Anderson a bit or something, and the job's done. Before the match, we had a quick backstage promo with the Lucha Brothers, who were interrupted by Andrade. He asked where's Pac, which I guess is a fair question. His assistant then piped up and told the 80 champs that it's been a while since they defended the AAA tag titles, and it's about time they did. Now, annoyingly, the fight app started playing up for me at this point, and it took 5 minutes to get back to the position I was at. Thanks, fight. Andrade went on to say something about Luchador Friends taking the title. I'm not actually sure what he was saying. I think he was telling the Lucha Brothers that he has Luchador Friends that is he's going to get one of them, and they're going to challenge for the AAA tag titles. Well, honestly, I don't know. Later on, commentary tried to clarify that it is what I thought it was. Andrade's not a native English speaker, and when it comes to promos, he's not the best at them at the moment. You know, I think it would be better if he just let the assistant do the talking for him. You know, like, or get Chavo back. Just get Chavo back. Have someone cut the promos for him, because this wasn't a great this wasn't the best of promos. You know. And then we got to the match. Cody and the Nightmare Family came out, and it was not. There was not a lot of massive boos for Cody, but there was some boos for Cody here, you know. As the match started, we got a Cody sucks chant. Like, I don't really get it. Poor Cody, you know, he's good. I think people just don't like him because he's against Malachi Black, and he's got a bit of a retro John Cena vibe about him where he's the super baby face. You know, if people don't like it, that's cool. I'm indifferent. I'm not bothered about it, you know. The match started with Johnson and Seidel, but quickly Dante was tagged in. Him and Johnson put on a really good display of what they could do here. It was not perfect, but it was pretty good, you know. Dante is a machine, and Johnson is really, really, really freaking good. He doesn't get enough airtime on Dynamite, which I imagine this is why they were in this match. As the match went to the break, we had a cool sequence of dives. First, Cody went for the disaster kick on the outside on Seidel, but he missed. This led to Seidel hitting him with a flying knee. Then Johnson hit a dive on the two of them. Then Dante hit one of the sweetest step-up flip sentons off the top rope to the outside I have ever seen. If Pac is the man that Gravity forgot, Dante is the man who just does not adhere to the rules of... I need to rephrase that right. If Pac is the man that Gravity forgot, Dante is the man who told Gravity to piss. I don't know. Like, if you think Pac's Gravity defying, then holy crap, Dante is like 10 times more oblivious to the natures of gravity. You know, digging a hole here. Cody eventually tagged into the match, and the boos started. Interestingly, in here, Jim Ross and CM Punk were selling the boos from the crowd, and this is a sign that we're paying attention to it and mentioning it on commentary. It's a sign that the people in charge are paying attention to the reactions Cody was getting. They're not pretending it's not there. They're noticing it. They're talking about it. And it was really interesting. It's maybe the teasers are coming, you know. Punk also described Dante as a martial artist and said he wants to experience that sort of martial arts firsthand. So maybe get a Punk versus Dante Martin match down the line. I hope so. That'd be pretty good, I imagine. Now, it wasn't the best match of the night, but it was a lot of fun. The finish came when Johnson tagged a pretty much beaten Cody Rhodes out. And after a little bit of struggle, he hit this amazing. It was like a Northern Lights. He picked Dante up for like a Northern Lights suplex and then put him down with like a neck breaker on the knee. It looked brutal. I loved it. It was really good. I think the purpose of the match was to give Johnson and Dante some primetime TV exposure, and that's exactly what happened. They looked brilliant in this match. Really good. Top marks for the two of them. Post-match, Tony Schiavone got in the ring to interview Cody and Lee Johnson and Arn Anderson. At this point, the crowd were booing Cody hard. Cody shouted, he grabbed the mic, he's like, "Where's Malachi Black?" But Arn Anderson cut him off, told him to stop talking. And then this broke down. Arn started telling them that since the 7th of July, Malachi Black has systematically destroyed every member of their stable. Arn is a wise man, and he is peed off of Cody here. He asked what the hell was the boot thing about. Now, when Cody went to retire, and why the hell did he come out of the ring to check on, like in the last match against Malachi Black, why did Cody get out the ring to check on Arn, which eventually led to him getting beat again? All valid points by Arn. Arn was angry as hell here, and he can cut a brilliant promo. Arn's promo ended by calling Cody a loser. He just straight up called him a loser. He made this analogy that if someone was to try and steal Cody's car, Cody would just give him it, whereas Arn would pull out a Glock and he actually said he would pull a Glock out and blast their brains out. Like a tongue twister. He then tells Cody he's not coaching a loser, and he tells Johnson, "Come with me, at least you listen." Powerful stuff. It looks like Arn and the racial relationship between Arn Anderson and Cody Rhodes is over. And yeah, they're planting seeds, they're embracing it. It looks like we're building to some sort of Cody Rhodes heel turn. Although, if he's not going to turn on Arn, then who is it? Who's he going to turn on? Like, will he turn on Johnson? No, I think that's already passed. My guess is Dustin, again. He'll turn on Dustin, which obviously turning on your brother, that's a real dick move. They've obviously feuded between the two of them before. It was an epic feud. It led to one of the best AEW matches they had. I think it was actually before AEW was a thing, the Dustin Cody match. Interesting to see where this goes. Very interesting. Next up, it was trios time. Wild Thing plays on the on the speakers. What am I saying? And Moxley, Kingston, Sting, and Darby Allin make their way to the ring through the crowd. Sting was not in this match. I thought Eddie Kingston was going to be the one sitting out because I know he had an injury last week. But no, Sting was at ringside cheering everyone on. Their opponents were Bear Country and a guy that looks like Matt Jackson. The debut in Anthony Green. Now, I've never seen him before. I never heard of him before. I guess he's been on Dark. I've not watched Dark for a few weeks, so he was probably on that. But yeah, he looked like he was wearing Nick Jackson's gear. It was hilarious. I couldn't stop thinking, is that Nick? I thought it was Nick Jackson at first. Like, it's good to see Bear Country back on TV, as they're a team I like to watch. One of them was out with an injury, so they've not been about. They had a few matches on Dynamite in the past, but then they were out due to the injury. They're two giant, meaty guys who like throwing people around like it's nothing. Like, they're so big. They're giants. They're not the most experienced team, but they know what they can do, and they can do it well, you know? This was a quick match. Nothing over the top. Nothing bad. Bear Country went for their finish earlier on, where one sits on the other one's shoulder and they slam him off. But it got countered. This led to Eddie Kingston hitting one of them with a German suplex. Moxley tried to hit one with a German suplex, failed, but then he pushed him into the ropes and hit him with one of them, like, assisted German suplexes. Anthony Green, who looks like Mick Jackson's stunt double, tried to take Moxley and Eddie out with a crossbody a springboard crossbody, but failed miserably and just fell at the ground. Both of them no-sold it, picked him up, hit their tag team finish, which is now called the Violent Crown. It is the Exploder Lariat combo. It wasn't quick, it wasn't fancy, it was an okay match, it was fine for what it was only a few minutes long. Post-match, Sting hit Green with the Scorpion Death Drop, which got the biggest pop of the match. Absolutely. People love Sting. Next up, we had the gigantic 16-man tag team match between the entire Hardy family office and a guy who, what was his name, called George Yule. I didn't get the last name properly. I believe he's been wrestling on Dark. I need to check this out. I need to watch Dark again this week. I fell behind. But yeah, it was the entire Hardy family office and the entire Dark Order with an Orange Cassidy. Now, before the match, Hardy cut a promo about he was meant to debut in Rochester for AEW last year, but obviously the pandemic stopped that. He said he hated the place, but he was cut off by Orange Cassidy and the Dark Order making their entrances. So, as expected, this was like the Brodie Lee tribute match, which is a really nice touch. It's really good to do this sort of thing. The Dark Order entrance was emotional. -1 was back with the Order, and there was a huge Brodie Lee chant. They all stood in the ring. They all did the thing. It was cool. This show was for Brodie, you know, like, rest in peace, Brodie. He deserved that. The crowd was a sea of Brodie signs at this point, and there was non-stop Brodie chants. It was great. Both Alan, 5 Angels, and 10 are wearing new masks. They're a lot better than the masks they were wearing. I like it. When the match started, Uno started bickering with 5, which led to 5 taking off the match and fighting with Uno before they could even start fighting the Hardy family office, which obviously gave them the in so they could get the upper hand on the good guys straight off the match. During the match, with zero fanfare or real announcement, a new Hardy family office member, George Yule, as I was saying about, I think that's his name, got his Dynamite debut. The commentary team also started describing Uno's behaviour at the start of the match is selfish, as this night was not about them, it was about Brodie, which they were right. Uno, what are you playing at? I'm actually a member of the Dark Order. I completed the form. I'm a member. Alan Angels sent me my membership. True. So I was quite annoyed to see Uno stoop so low at this point. It was not nice. I'm not going to try and describe everything that happened in this match because it was a 16-man tag team match. It was insane. During the match, Alex Reynolds and Uno looked like they were going to be working together. There was a bit of dissension, but it all broke down when Alex got thrown into Uno and Uno got knocked out of the ring. Uno was annoyed. He started walking out on the team. Obviously, Colt Cabana and Stu Grayson tried to stop him. They were walking up trying to stop him, but as they got to the top of the ramp, they were stopped by -1, Ty Conti, Anna Jay, and Brodie's widow, Amanda Huber. Now, this got one of the pops of the night. -1 threw a roll of papers off Uno's head, which I loved, and then Amanda gave him a telling off, got him told him to get back in the ring. This is not what it's about. This is about Brodie. This made Uno see sense. This was the talking to that Uno needed to get back with the Dark Order, and they run back to the ring to help the rest of the Dark Order. They proceeded to take the entire Hardy family office out with dives. There was like Alan Angels and Colt Cabana both hit springboard moonsaults. There was dives to the outside. 10 slammed someone out like that. I think it was Alex Reynolds out like that. It was awesome. There was so much like mad stuff happening here. It was great. This led to Alex and Reynolds hitting their finishing sequence on someone. I can't remember who it was. It was probably that George guy. And this led to Uno, which fed into Uno and Grayson hitting their pick-up finish thing. I can't remember what it's called. It's like a gory special holding a Goomba stomp type thing. It was cool. Post-match, the entire Dark Order embrace, and it seems bygones are bygones. The Dark Order are all back on the same page, at least for now. Rest in peace, Brodie. This one was for you. It was a nice finish. Everyone was happy. Following this, we got a Lio Rush promo. Like a video, a vignette. I thought he retired due to an injury. I thought he was retired. But that said, it's good to see him. Lio Rush is cool. He said he's a leverage buyer, and it seems like he's got this new persona where he's a big money businessman. Rinse, rush, repeat. I mean, okay, I'm interested to see where this goes, although it means we've got like two people with big money gimmicks on the same show. Like, is he going to start loaning money to other people, then chasing debt? So I don't know. I guess we've got to wait and see. It's good to see him back. A bit of a Terry Funk retirement. He retired and he's back within like 4 months. It's cool. He's a great wrestler. He didn't have the best debut at the when he came in. I think he came in and botched a move straight away, the poor guy. So it's good to see him back. I hope he does good things here. Now, following this, we had a quick FTR promo backstage. They just say they're revitalised and refocused. Okay, go FTR. We then went into the ring for another promo. Dan Lambert and the Men of the Year were talking about how Masvidal destroyed Chris Jericho. They claim that that's ended Jericho's career, and we got one of the usual Dan Lambert sort of promos. They said that never again would people swing on the balls of Jericho. A nice line. Scorpio Sky took the mic and cut a promo about he was one of the first champs in AEW, and he is one of the best win records in the company, but he doesn't get what he's deserved. The company then... Ethan Page then had a shot, blah, 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 same sort of thing. Best smile, two black belts, top guy, tightest tits. He actually said that. They finished by saying that American Top Team and the Men of the Year are the top team. It was a good promo segment. All guys looked pretty good in this segment, you know. I guess it's needed. I'd rather see them in more matches, but TV time's TV time. We then got another quick, so much promos at this section of the show. We got another quick promo video with Shida this time. She is trying to get her 50th win next week. We're going to get Shida versus Serena Deeb. Hell yeah. Serena Deeb is so good. Like, she's seriously so good. So I'm game for this. I'm all about this. Shida's matches can be a bit give or take sometimes. Sometimes it can be really good. Sometimes it can be a bit passé, you know. I'm like, But against Serena Deeb, I imagine this is going to be good, so I'm game for this. Next up, it was Penelope Ford and the Bunny versus Anna Jay and Ty Conti. So Penelope Ford and the Bunny came out for their match wearing matching gear. I guess they're a actual tag team now. This was followed by Anna Jay and Conti also coming out wearing matching gear. They were wearing totally matching gear. Now, this got me thinking, are we moving towards AEW starting up a female tag division? Because they weren't just friends, they were tag teams. I hope so. The match was okay. Again, it was not the best match of the night, but it was acceptable. There was some shonky spots here. There was a lot of like hits stopping there, like an egg between them. You know, there was a lot of air being hit here. It wasn't bad. It was most notable for being a tag match. You know, like a straight up tag team match. It went to a break. Most of the match happened during a break, so I watched them fight, so I got to see that anyway. As the show came back from break, Conti got a hot tag, but the heels managed to take control again. The finish to this came when Penelope missed a moonsault, and when I say missed it, Anna Jay didn't even have to roll to avoid this. She was like about 1.5 meters away from her. Again, like I said, there was a lot of air being targeted in this match. And Anna Jay managed to pick her up, hit a reverse kick thing, which looked savage. It looked like it really caught her, and then she put her to sleep with the Queen Slayer for the win. Post-match, -1 came out to celebrate with Conte and Anna Jay, and we got another big Brodie chant and another nice little spot. We then went to another quick promo video with Jade Cargill, Nyla Rose, and Thunder Rosa. They've got a match coming up on Rampage. It's a triple threat match. I don't think we needed the promo on the show, but it's at least building to something on Friday. Next up, MJF's music played, and he came out with Wardlow to cut yet another promo on the show. He says he wants the company to be successful, and he will do anything to help make this happen. This was a toned down MJF until the end of it. Surprisingly, he says he hates to admit it, but he has to put over some of the young workers that have made the company what they are, and who are pushing the company forward. He then names his 4 pillars of AEW, which is obviously an All Japan reference to their 4 pillars, which I really like. I love that sort of thing. He says that Jungle Boy, Sammy Guevara, Darby, and MJF are the 4 pillars, and he also reminds us that he has beat the other 3. He goes on to bring up that he goes on to say that without him, the company ain't crap, ain't a lot of S-bombs, you know, and he says that he is the future. He deserves to be the AEW champion. And after MJF talks about MLW, which is where I have seen most of MJF before Dynamite was a thing. It's a really good wrestling promotion. You should check it out. He says he's got Bruce Pritchard on speed dial. But following saying that strange comment, he was interrupted by Darby Allin, who he proceeded to berate as we expected, and he calls the second best guy. Darby tells MJF that no one cares about him, and if he wants to go, then he should just go and stop bitching about it, not getting the shot, you know. Because obviously MJF's making the statement that, well, I'll just go somewhere else, blah, 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 blah. And Darby's like, well, just go, you know. This promo then went up 10 notches. MJF pointed out that he likes Darby because he's straight edge, but Darby is only straight edge because when he was a kid, his uncle was drunk, took him out driving, and he crashed the car and his uncle died. And he said that the only bad thing that happened here is that the wrong person died. I was like, savage. I don't know if it's a true story. If it is, holy crap, that was some to the bone stuff, you know. Darby refused to rise with his bait. He said he won't hit him and he won't allow him to mentally break him. And with this, MJF and Wardlow were like, you know what, we're gone, bye. And they retreat. I guess we're building to a Darby Allin MJF feud. Again, I'm all for this. It was another good MJF promo. It was savage at parts, but it was a lot more toned down than some of his recent ones, which I liked. I liked that, you know. We're then told that on Rampage this week, we will be seeing Nick Jackson versus Bryan Danielson. Hell yes. We will also get the Jade Cargill, Nyla Rose, Thunder Rosa match, and Orange Cassidy versus Jack Evans, which I think is a hair versus hair match. Did they not say last week that's a hair versus hair match? I can't remember if they said it there, but they did. Next week's Dynamite is their 2nd anniversary show. Awesome. On that, we're going to get the Elite and versus Danielson, Christian, and the Jurassic Express. Shida versus Serena Deeb, and the return of the Casino Ladder match. And now, it's time for the main event. Sami versus Miro for the TNT title. We got a quick video showing the brief feud between Fuego, Sami, and Miro, and then we got to the match. Sami's biggest match yet. Sami tried to start the match with a flying knee, but Miro cut him off. This was the spot that he kept going for this match over and over in the match, which is a nice thing. I like it when they do that. But Miro cut him off, beat the crap out of them. At this point, it looked like Miro was going to get a quick win over Guevara. Miro was looking awesome as always, looking as savage as always, throwing Sami around, choking him out with the chain he was wearing. I like Miro. Sami managed to get the advantage of throwing himself at Miro, sending both men to the outside of the ring, where he proceeded to throw him about the ring posts. Sami got Miro back in the ring, and he went for a shooting star press, but Miro caught him and reversed it into like a waistlock suplex over the head, angle style. It was awesome. I was like, what? He did that a few times in this match. It was a really good match. I felt bad for the TV viewers as they went to a commercial break here. Thankfully, I did not have to sit through the ads because this is the good side of Fight TV. During the break, both men went back to the outside. Sami tried to throw him into the ring posts again, but Miro managed to take control, got Sami in the ring, and locked in a chin lock. It was like I was at a Raw taping again, you know, because they do that at the commercial breaks. Chin lock. It was good. They worked it well. It didn't have no purpose. It worked into the match. When we returned from the break, the Redeemer continued to beat the crap out of Sami. Sami tried to fire back with another knee strike attempt, but he then got caught and Germaned by Miro. God's favourite champion was on fire in this match. The tide turned in this match when Miro, after playing to the crowd, ran at Sami but was countered with a standing Spanish fly. Miro went for another German, but Sami landed on his feet, but then he got thrown to the outside by Miro. This was something else. Sami then went for his finish again. Miro caught him and hit a huge slam. At this point, Miro, you could see Miro was starting to look worried. He's like shaking the fingers, selling that his neck's playing up, selling that he can't feel his fingers. Good selling, really good selling. He then started to stomp, do his stomping thing, signal for his finish, but Sami managed to dodge it and hit the running knee strike, finally. And then another. It was like, yes, yes. The finish to this match came after Miro got really angry. Sami was outside again, and he started trying to rip the turnbuckle pads off. He couldn't get one off, which is quite funny, but he managed to get it off eventually. Fuego ran down to the ring, jumped onto the apron, tried to stop him from ripping the turnbuckle pads off. He got knocked off. And then distracted Miro was hit from behind by Sammy Guevara, knocking his head into the turnbuckle. Sami then hit him with the Tornado DDT. That's Fuego del Sol's finisher. Then he hit him with his GTA. It's like a reverse go to sleep, followed by a 630 splash for the win. We have a new TNT champion, and a wave of gold confetti rained from the sky. His friends came out to celebrate, and that's how the show went off the air. This was an awesome match. It had everything. Miro was a great champion, but he had to lose it eventually, you know. Everything comes to an end. This was a good way to end the show. It was a great way to end Miro's first run as TNT Championship. And now, with Sami as the champ, we have a wealth of new feuds that can happen with the TNT title, such as going against the other four pillars of Jungle Boy or MJF. All in all, this was a really fun episode of Dynamite. I think there was maybe 2 or 3 promos too many. Some of the matches were a bit messy at times, but at the same time, it didn't distract from the show, you know what I mean? It didn't make it a bad show by any stretch. You're always going to get that on TV wrestling shows. The announced match between Bryan and Nick Jackson has me hyped for Rampage, and next week's Dynamite feels like it's going to be a great show, you know? Hell yeah. And with that, we are done for the week. Remember and tell me what you thought of this week's Dynamite in the comments. What was your favourite match? Let me know. What was your favourite bit? What did you not like about the show? Tell me, because there's always a bad side of the show, and nothing is perfect in this life. Nothing. I want to know about it though. Subscribe to the Wrestlebuddy channel, turn notifications on, check wrestlebuddy.com for all your wrestling news and rumours. I will be back on Saturday afternoon with my AEW Rampage review, and I'll also, if I remember, find some information about the John Huber Foundation. Follow me on Twitter at Broke Britannia. Take it easy, everyone.